Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm loving it. All right, let's see. We gotta do this. And then do this. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. All right, cool. What's really good, LeSBP Trading Familia? Buenos dias, bonjour, bon dia, sabona, guten abend, konbanwa, masaka, aftab. Thank you all for tuning in. So, man, we had an interesting day. I'm just gonna do a really quick stream to kind of go over what happened today and all that great stuff. Show you what we ended up taking home on today. It wasn't a bad day, but we did miss some trades. I do feel kind of silly because of the simple fact that we missed those trades and all that great stuff. But hey, we made it out positive. So I guess, I shouldn't be too mad at myself, but to be honest, it might have been a fluke. So either way, let's jump right into it. This is going to be like a 10-15 minute stream. I just didn't feel like recording a video. I just want to get it knocked out. So first things first, today is June 27th, Friday. That's the first time I said it is instead of was. June 27th, Friday, 8:30, we had core PC price index month over month. That is a red folder news day. Luckily, as always, we don't trade until 9:30, so we kind of missed that whole red folder news thing. As long as it is, before the time where we get in. So the only days, excuse me, that we did not miss were like the 10 o'clock days, and then sometimes when there's 2 o'clock news. But yeah, for the most part, we usually end up missing that red folder news, and then we get to catch the later volatility at the 9:30 open, which is why I like to do that. So Tradeovate is dun, 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 dun. So let me see if it's gonna let me do it or not. Okay, cool. So Tradeovate, we made 318 today. We had one winning trade and two losing trades, and one break even. So as you can see, here are the trades down here. Basically 678.50 was the first loss. 67 and 50 cents was the first loss. Then we had a zero, then another 67, and then we had a winning trade. I don't know how we were in a trade for 14 seconds. Honestly, I'm not exactly sure what happened there. But either way, we had two losses, and then we had the one winner. I need to actually look at that trade. Like, when did we take this? Why would I take a 14-second trade? I don't know. Maybe it just lost that damn fast. I don't know. Either way, we're at 6 out of 5 days. So we've got the trading days. We've got the profit target that we need to hit next. And then we still have the green check mark here. So basically all we need to do is reach our profit target now, which is 3,000 without going below our minimum account balance. All these rules are good. We're still green all up here. This is our trading balance in comparison to the minimum account balance. So I did the calculation. I think we're at the difference in between the two are 1,775. So basically, we need to keep ourselves adequately above this minimum account balance. If you don't know how the challenge works, as you trade and as you move up, so does your minimum account balance. Now, it's one thing that did surprise me at first when I first started taking the trading challenge. Maybe I hadn't realized it happened like that before with other challenges, because I have taken other challenges like FTMO. This is my third go at Take Profit Trader, and then I've done Top Step, but I just never really noticed it until I got to Take Profit Trader. So yeah, that's an interesting one. Then you have the daily journal here, which explains what we've won and what we've lost over the last 6 days. And then moving on to the trades themselves. So first things first, we look at the high and the low of we look at the high of yesterday, low of yesterday. So looking at that high and that low, and then just looking at the outlook of the market, we have quite a bullish market here. And then looking at that high and the low, here is the low of Thursday, and then this is the high of Thursday. It's quite bullish, so I was honestly hoping for sell trades. I know that sounds counterintuitive, but what I'm looking to do is to take the either the range, or not necessarily the range. It's probably I'm looking for the opposition of the trade. Now, if there are buy positions that I can take, yes, I still do take those because the trend is definitely your friend. But I usually cut those trades a little bit shorter than the ones that I would cut or than the ones I would take going against that bigger trend. That only happens though if I have a like higher high or higher low. And the reason for that is for me to, go with the flow of the market when I'm in the trend, but at the same time, if I can get the opposition, usually when you have a good amount of pullback, you can get a bigger amount of pips. So I don't have a bias. I don't sit here and say, oh yeah, we only have, I'm only going to get into buy trades because the trend is buy, trend is going up. We only get into sell trades because the trend is going down. Like I don't do that, but yeah, either way, I guess that's the best way to explain it. Looking at the 1 minute time frame and breaking it down, we'll start from that high and that low of yesterday. So that's the high, or that's the low, excuse me, at 835, and then the high over here at 1800. And then moving on to the trades from the day. Now, it's a really interesting day because, yeah, we just feel like we were slightly all over the place. We kind of messed up a little bit here. But moving on from 9:30, the 8:30 news came out. So 8:30 news came out right here. He had a nice little spike down, and then the market tried to trickle back down. So as you can see, it actually hit the high of yesterday, which was on Thursday. Slightly dipped a little bit below that, but once 9:30 came in, we opened up, boom, and popped right back above it. We had our first trading opportunity right here, which for a sell position, excuse me. If you caught the stream from this morning, you would have noticed that I got triggered into this trade because I was waiting for it to honestly come back here. All right, so we had a nice sell position here, but that's before the time frame of which I actually trade. So when that usually, or actually it was right here. But when that actually happens, what I usually tend to do is I'll wait till the 9:30 open. I'll set in this case, my sell limit, and then I'll let it trigger me in. I'll set my buy stop so that we can go ahead and try to catch the trade as it comes back. And then hoping, the hope is, of course, that it goes then in our direction. In this case, it did not, but it was a very small stop loss, so I wasn't as worried about it. Only a 2.25 pip stop loss. I think that was like I said, 60 something dollars, $67. Also, if you caught the stream, because literally the trade came back to back. Right after we got knocked out of this trade, which was only like 2 minutes later, there was a buy position. We got into this buy position, and like I said, if you caught the stream this morning, you probably would have been cursing me out because we got into this buy position. Originally, I kind of messed up, and I was originally going for 10 pips, or I would say 10.25 pips, which was wrong. I messed up on my strategy. What I was really supposed to be going for was the addition of this loss. So it was supposed to be 12.25 pips, which is 49 ticks. And I fucked up, and I was like, oh yeah, we're supposed to be going for, just 10.25, blah, 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 because of spread. Well, fuck that up. And as you can see, it went up, literally almost hit it. And this was all during the stream this morning. So if you want to go back and kind of fact check that one, you can look at the stream. But it was all during this morning. It went up, hit 10 pips exactly, and then went against us. At that point, I was like, all right, I'm moving my stop loss to break even. And then right here is where it tipped us out at break even. And then of course it goes back up, and we were supposed to go for 12.25, which I said this morning also as well. And I let everybody know, like, yeah, we weren't supposed to go back to break even yet. We weren't supposed to move anything. And I'm not supposed to move anything until it at least hits that 10.25, which would have been here. And then I could have moved my stop loss to break even. It never came back to break even. And then it would have actually hit our 12.25. So we kind of fucked up. We fucked up, and not kind of. We fucked up really bad, actually. So I said, we messed up so many times today, I don't even want to count. At 11:06, I wrote broke even early on the second trade of the day because we moved our stop loss early. So this was the second trade of the day, which basically means we missed this full trade. This would have been coverage for the first trade that we did take. So that would have given us about $310 or something like that. And we missed that completely. Then you go up throughout the day. We're still looking at all-time highs. If you look at we'll just go back to the 4-hour. These were the previous all-time highs up here. And as you can see, we have bypassed those all-time highs. So looking at those previous all-time highs, basically now we are making new all-time highs for the S&P 500. And as you can see, I just kind of mark it off as we go, as we continue. So I mark off the all-time high, and then I mark off a high low for the day. Basically, the all-time high includes the wick. The high low only includes the body of the candle. So that's why the blue line is here and the purple line is right above that at the top of the wick. As we kind of regressed, came back down, or it's not, I wouldn't call it a reversal, but more or less we kind of retraced. It came back down into an area where I could start to sell the market. We had one attempt right here, and then we had a buy position that flipped right here, and then we had a sell position right here on these two bigger candles. Now, I'm not going to lie, these two bigger candles kind of scared me because it is Friday. If you know anything about the market, especially on Fridays, man, for some odd reason, Fridays can be quite hectic. So once we got a sell position here and then this buy position, these both were very small losers. I think we only took one of these. That's why I only had 167.5 pip loss. But yeah, so I don't know. I was kind of like, fuck, should we take it? Should we not take it? And then I saw these two long candles and I was like, man, I don't know if I want to take this trade. But at the same time, once again, in my head, I'm like, well, if you don't take the trades, you miss the opportunity. And then later on, you're going to be kicking yourself in the ass. So took the trade. We jumped in. And as you can see, we actually got out quite early. I only took enough to cover this loss and this loss, even though we only took one of these trades. I only took enough off of this trade to actually cover the losses. So 14.5 pips is basically what I went for, and that hit beautifully right here. After that, we end up getting out of the trade. Now you'll notice that I said at 14:30, I said didn't allow the trade. We wanted for sales to run. We instead got out at the point that took up for the losses. This is me saying that beforehand because I said this at around 14:30. So that was here when the market was still slowly floating down. And then at 15:50, right before, I kind of don't take any more trades anyways, I said glad I didn't let the trade run because we would have broken even. So basically all I'm saying is, when we get into a trade that's against the trend, usually what I like to do is I like to let that trade run just to kind of see where it goes, because those are usually the bigger trades. Those are usually the trades that go like 40, 50 pips and stuff like that. So usually, in most cases, what I want to do is let that go, especially because you had that high yesterday right here, and it bypassed that high yesterday. It came back up. Now, this is the part that kind of scared me, which is why I ended up getting out at the 14.25 pips, because once it went down below that high yesterday, you could see hard rejection. Down below again, slight rejection. Down below again, you had a bullish candle. So I was like, man, I said, you know what? I'm going to let it hit TP, which is 14.25 pips, and then we'll just get out of it. We had 3 more candles, and then boom, it went straight through it for the next 5 candles after that. Then it floated down a little bit more. I think the furthest it went for me in this particular trade would have been like 32 or 33 pips. Yeah, 33.25 pips at the bottom of this right here. Then as you can see, it would have floated right back up throughout the rest of the day, and it would have taken us out here at break even. So all in all, I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm actually glad that we decided to go ahead and get out of that trade. So other than that, that's pretty much all I got. Pretty decent day. I will keep you all updated. I might just start doing these little recaps over stream just because I feel like it's so much quicker, and I don't have to sit here and try to do videos where I'm recording and re-recording and re-recording. It's just whatever I say, fuck it, just one take, whether I mess it up or not. So if you want to catch the morning streams, I usually try to start the stream anywhere between 9:20 to 9:30 Eastern time. And then these evening streams will have to be sometime after 9 o'clock, because that's when they update the take profit trader, dashboard or whatever. So it'll be sometime after 9 to 9:30. So those will be a little bit iffy. But I definitely know the 9:20 to 9:30 in the morning will be the ones that I usually try to stay consistent on. Of course, I do still work. I have a 9 to 5, so sometimes I am a little bit late. So I do apologize. Usually I try to post if I'm going to be late on my channel. I try to make a post about it and say, hey, sorry, I'm going to be late or whatever. Some days I do miss it though. I'm human. I do apologize. But either way, I appreciate y'all. Hopefully y'all had a good trading week, good trading day. And I will see y'all on Monday. Thanks.